All right, well, moving on. Now, Wednesdays here on the program, we like to put the spotlight on the farm women's group, CommonGround.
CommonGround is a group of farm women who want to be a resource for consumers who want to know more about how their food is grown. In this segment, we talk with volunteer Paula Peterson on what farmers are doing now to ensure good soil health throughout the year.
A farmer's work is never done. Maybe during the harvest season, you might think of them really working around the clock, but there's a lot of work that goes on all throughout the year to keep the soil healthy. Joining me now with more on this is Paula Peterson with CommonGround. Tell us what you do for the farm's soils.
A lot, just kind of like when people go have your annual physical. At the end of harvest, we'll do a soil test and take samples from different parts of the field and see what nutrients are missing. So just like when you go to the doctor and he says you need to eat more broccoli, we decided, okay, after we get the samples back, you need more phosphorus, you need a little zinc, you need a little sulfur. So we spend the fall putting that nutrients back into the field so they'll be ready for the next season. This year we spread phosphorus on almost all of our fields because corn and soybeans do take a lot of nitrogen, phosphorus out of the soil. The nitrogen we usually put on in the spring when we plant, but phosphorus you can spread on dry this time of year and it kind of sets and sinks down into the soil. The other big thing we're working on right now is Mother Nature gets a little heavy-handed on the rain sometimes, and we get ditches and cuts in fields. And so Tom is actually going through and moving the dirt around, reshaping it, cutting ditches. We also plant some cover crops to try to help that type of activity in the soil too. It helps rebuild microbial action in the soil and get the good bugs in the dirt, in the soil.
Why do you think consumers should be interested in this fact that you are caring for the soils and thinking of ways to make sure the soil's healthy for the new year?
Well, I think it's important for everybody to think about that we can't produce more land. We have to make the land that we have as healthy and productive as we can. And that takes years and years of work. It's not a one and done. It's very, very important to us to leave the land as good or better for the next generation to come.
You are coming back a little bit later. You have a recipe for us.
Yes, I do. I have a Christmas recipe for the Peterson side of the family that is Tom's family's favorite.
All right, we look forward to it, and we'll see you in a few minutes.